Hey everybody, welcome back to this special edition of Snapshot. We are on episode 6, Friday edition, meaning it's just me and Colin. But today it really isn't. We're going to show you guys some video clips and some audio clips from future draft picks later on in the show. But for right now, I have to tell you, I think you can tell by the tone of my voice, I am so gassed about these finals coming up on Tuesday. We're 4 days away once this day concludes. And I mean, Colin, how happy are you that the finals are almost here?
Oh, I am so excited. It kind of left us on a cliffhanger there, having to leave without getting the finals done, and so I'm so excited for these finals. There's a lot of pent up. There's been a lot of build up to these finals, so I'm really excited for them. And I think this episode is going to be very chock packed with information. I don't even know if that was a phrase right there, but it's going to be packed with information, and we're going through some great players and some great possibilities, and I think we got to start it off with some breaking news.
That is true. Colin just broke a story a couple minutes ago. Do you want to tell the people what happened?
So I was talking to my teammate from this past season, Season 7, Eric, about potentially being drafted next year, and he came out saying that he is going to have to take this next season off due to prior engagements.
That is a major blow to the league, as Eric was definitely one of the top 3 forwards available in the draft.
Right, and he made some great progress this season too, and really proved himself.
No, I know he definitely had an outing with some of the coaches who weren't sure about it after the playoff performance, but still a steady pick considering that the 5th and 6th pick are both goalies. Definitely
Correct.
was a good option to know you had.
Yeah.
So, moving on from that, I would say that now I guess we get into what the show's going to be. It's about the draft.
Right.
I mean, there is 6 picks. They're going to show you. They're right above us right now. The number 1 pick is held by Austin. The 2nd overall pick by Colin. 3rd overall pick by Andrew, who will be leaving Mike's team, the Revolution, to start his own new franchise team, which will give the GKHA a total of 6. He has the 3rd overall pick. I have the 4th overall pick. And then the loser of the finals will be the 5th pick, and the winner of the finals will be the 6th pick. That will either be Mike or Tommy who will hold those picks. But in reality, it shouldn't make too much of a difference, being that they are both goalies and both are going to likely want to draft forwards. So, not too much variability, I guess, in that 5-6 pick. Obviously, they want different types of players. But that's my own take on it. So, Colin, when we're looking at the draft order, especially being that it's most likely a goalie who will be selected first, and then a forward who will be selected second, and then a couple more goalies and a couple more forwards. Do you feel the draft order plays an important part about who is going number 1, number 2, like where the order is going to be staggered?
I think so. I think that draft order still means a lot because even though the first 2 picks are looking for different positions, it's still competitive trying to get that top player, and there's still players that stand out above the rest in those in their respective positions. So I still think that draft order is going to play a factor into who gets picked, obviously, but I think it's going to play a bigger factor still.
I mean, yeah, because the reason I asked that is you have players like me and you who are more clear cut. Like, I'm pretty much always going to be a forward. You're pretty much always going to be a goalie.
Right.
But I mean, let's say Mikey, for example, if he's the best forward in the draft and one of the best players, do you just take him number 1, like if you're Austin, and try to make something like that work? Like, do you try to bear through the position change, or do you just stick to what you know and take, the best goalie available, even if you're passing on the overall best player?
Right. That is something to think about as well. I mean, even if the same could be say for the reverse. If you're pretty much a standard goalie, or if you're a standard forward, and you take someone of the same position as you, do you do it to see if you can make it work, or even to sabotage someone below you?
Right, to try to eliminate the risk of that forward being with somebody else.
Right.
These are all great questions. We're definitely going to address these more on Monday when Austin is on the show. But for now, this is about the draft prospects, and right now, right above me is going to be the list of all of the prospects that are going to be in the league this year. And Colin, I know there's double digits. I think there is 14. And now without Eric, I think there's 13, and there's a lot of variability. Some players like Matt Robideau have not played for 2 years. You have players coming off great seasons. I think you take Palma coming off a very good season. You have Eric, unfortunately, who was coming off a good season, no longer available. Mikey coming off a very good season. You have some players who are going to make some noise this year, who are definitely up for grabs.
Right. I agree with that. I think that there's definitely some great players up for grabs and some players that may even get called out that haven't played in a few years. You never know.
I think a lot of the interesting uh, perspective, a lot of the interesting. I can't think of the word. What I'm trying to say is I'm very fascinated by how it's going to be with some players who aren't going to be picked. I think more than players who are going to be picked. Because one of the players we talked to today is Ricky, and Ricky has appeared in many seasons, but it appears that there seems to be a shift away from Ricky, as people don't want to draft as physical as a forward, as is not as conducive in the league anymore.
Right, I agree with that. I think that it's kind of going the way of the National Hockey League, and that the more strong, powerful players are being phased out, and it's more the quicker, skilled players that are coming into the league and kind of breaking out. And I think Ricky's style of play, well, it is effective in this league. He gets under your skin and causes you to make mistakes, and then capitalizes on those mistakes. I still think that he is someone who either needs to change his play style or make a real impression, because this last season, his team finished dead last, and it kind of hurt him and Austin a little bit, you know?
I would agree. You know what? On the topic of Ricky, let's play the video that he sent in to Snapshot talking about why he should be one of the top tier picks.
All right, let's get into it.
The reason why I should be the number 1 overall pick in the GKHA draft is, first off, because I'm the hardest hitting forward in the GKHA. I know I've been a little dirty in the past, but I'm planning on trying to clean up my game and make sure that I'm not doing any of the dirty stuff or anything illegal anymore. I'm still going to be aggressive. I'm still going to try hard for the ball, but I'm not going to be as dirty. Also, well, I haven't been the best goal scorer in recent years, but I have been working on my shot, and my biggest goal this upcoming season is to be a much better goal scorer. Also, I have a lot of experience in the GKHA. I've played, I think, 4 seasons, the Season 3 champ. I've played against everybody here, at least almost everybody who's going to be playing, so got the experience. I feel like I should be the number 1 overall pick.
All right, first off, very cognizant of the fact that he is considered a dirty player and that he might possibly be blacklisted in the league.
He knows he's under some pressure.
I think he understands the importance of trying to shed that reputation as an enforcer, really. But I mean, it's tough because you want to believe him, but Ricky's been, like he said, he even admits, I've been in this league a long time, and I think somewhat that works to his detriment because he has an established reputation as being this dirty player. And I don't know if people are going to really just believe him. Someone's going to have to take a chance if we're going to see a change in Ricky. I don't think we're going to take him on his word.
Right, yeah. He needs to prove it to him. He needs to prove it to everyone else in this league that he can play without the same level of physicality that he's used to bringing. He needs to tone that down a little bit. Stop a little bit with the dirty stuff, and he's all talk right now. He's got to prove. Maybe it takes some exhibition games. Maybe someone does take a chance on him. No matter what it is, he just has to prove that he is able to adjust his style of play.
Because you want to be able to keep that level of intensity, but eliminate the level of cheap shots and dirty plays that have given him this awful reputation that he now holds.
Right. And it's great that he's aware of all of this and he's working to change it. It's just a matter of how if he can change it and if he can maintain a different play style.
Now, moving forward in that video, he does talk about how he's worked on his shot.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about by the improvements.
Right, and I'm wondering now, I mean, I don't doubt that Ricky has done this. I don't doubt that I'm happy that he is aware that he did not have, especially the past couple seasons, he has not achieved his full potential. I'm happy he realized that. I think Ricky in this video shows he is incredibly self-aware. But now, here's the thing in the GKHA. Being a good shot is vastly different than being an effective forward. If he somehow manages to cut out the dirty plays and, yeah, his shot's better, it doesn't affect the fact that you're going to be under a lot more pressure and you're going to have to learn to score with people on your back with increasingly better goaltending. You can work on your shot all you want, but when you get in the game, it is a different thing to put the ball in the back of the net. It really is.
I can agree with that, and you also like you said, he has to figure out a way. I don't feel I mean, I don't know, obviously, but I'm assuming he hasn't really had much time to put these into practice yet in an actual game setting of any kind, whether it's with other friends or whether it's in the practice arena, wherever he may be, whatever he may be doing, he needs to be able to practice. He right now, like I say, he's all talk in the sense going back to physicality. When you're saying it's all about with players on your back, can you still make those shots? I'm still on the line of when there's players on your back, are you going to be able to get rid of that instinct of, player on my back, physical?
Right, throw an elbow, trip him, get on the ground, one of those things. One of his patented moves.
Right.
So, now, what do you think, if you were to make an estimate just now, you've seen the video, where do you see Ricky going in the draft, if he gets drafted at all?
Ooh, Ricky, I'm not sure, honestly. I'm guessing,
sure?
I think I'd say near the bottom of the draft.
I would agree. And you know what? I asked this question because I have a point that I really do want to make, is that I see Ricky as only fitting on one team personally. I see him only being able to go to a Mike Murata team. If Mike has the 5th or 6th pick, I see him as the only person who could really benefit from Ricky's play style and keep him in control. I don't think Tom wants any part of Ricky. I'm not saying that you don't want a part of Ricky, but I think you have a high enough pick where you have better options of forwards. And me and Andy are both forwards who do not want to draft goalies. And Ricky, if you can see from the stats above, does not have the best goalie stats. So he's going to have to go to someone who is a predominant goalie. I think you have better options. I think Tommy does not want to play with this type of player. I see Mike being the only real option of drafting Ricky.
And I see that being a legitimate option for Mike, now that you say that, because I feel like Mike is someone who can rein him in, someone that can kind of focus him on a certain type of play. And I think that Mike and Ricky would be a good fit if Mike decides to go that route.
I think Mike is, like I said, like he's just the best option for Ricky. Yeah. I don't think Ricky at this current state of his career can really afford, not that he can afford, nobody else who is drafting him can really afford to take that chance.
Right.
Because you don't know what he's going to get. You don't know how much you're going to be able to rein him in.
Right, and if that does happen, that could be great for Ricky if he can prove himself, because Mike has a history of making it to the finals. And
you look at Sal, you're right. He's taken Sal, who's not the most talented player,
right?
But he did take him to the finals back-to-back years.
Yeah. And
didn't win.
No, but he still took him to the finals. And Ricky has that finals experience. Ricky and
has
Mike.
A championship. That's correct.
Yeah. So, something could happen there if that's a team. Something could happen there.
So I think we both agree near the bottom of the draft, probably the 5th or 6th pick.
Right. I agree with that.
Right. Now, moving on from forwards to goalies, Matthew Palma, who is currently on his way to play in a playoff football game. So, Matt, best of luck to you, man.
BGU.
But Matt was unable to send in a video submission, but he was able to email a response to Snapshot. And I'm going to quote for you what he has said today. So, quote, I think I should be the number 1 pick because I have a lot of experience. I've coached and played, so I know the game very well. I'm a very big body, and I used to play forward, so I have a decent shot. I would think I am an all-around good teammate to be around and bring a lot of team morale, end quote. Now, first impressions after I read this, I have to say, Matt again harping on the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Matt did play, I believe, 3 seasons, seasons 3, seasons 4, coached, I think, season 5, and then also played the past season. So, coach season 4. Okay. So, Matt has been around the league.
Yeah.
He's done everything. Coached, as he said, he coached. He's played goalie. He's played forward. I think Matt definitely, his best position is forward. Goalie. When he was playing with me this season. I loved having Matt. I thought he did bring a ton of confidence. He's a really fun kid to be around, and he, kind of takes some of the heaviness out of the game. That being said, Matt, obviously, for all the experience, is still inexperienced at goalie. He only played this season, which was only a short 4 games. He's only able to play 1 game in the postseason. So at goalie, Matt still is really coming into his 2nd year, despite having 3 years of prior experience. So to me, I don't see Matt going probably top 2. I don't see that realistically. Am I wrong to think that?
No, I realistically don't see him going top 2. I'd see him going middle bottom of the table, maybe somewhere around there, maybe 4 to 6, somewhere around that range.
Okay, so you don't think so? Obviously, in the top 3, there's 2 forwards. I mean, assuming Austin is going to play as a forward.
Oh, that's right. Yes, Andy gets the third pick. Yeah,
Andy has the third pick. Andy and Palma, that's a very realistic
that
pairing.
is a realistic pairing. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm gonna change that then. He could go in the middle of the table. I'd see him going anywhere in the middle.
So you see him go kind of in that three where me and Andy are.
Right.
2 forwards,
Yep.
3-4, middle table goalie.
Yeah.
So he's somewhere you think he's a top 3 goalie most in this draft.
In this draft, yes. I think that he's still got a lot to prove, like you said. And just looking at that pool, I feel like he has the room to grow, and he is a great teammate to be around. He's a great person to be around. He's got a lot of heart. So, he has the potential to go high.
No, he definitely has a lot. I thought Matt, in terms of his ceiling, actually, probably, I don't want to say, I know we give a lot of praise to Fowler, and I truly believe he deserved every single word of it. But I will say, Fowler to me looks established. It doesn't look like he has a ton of room. To me, Matt has a lot of room to grow. He's so fucking big, and he's just such a unique type of goalie that I could really see him being almost almost a U again in a way.
Right.
But obviously with a little more mobility, a little more ability to track the puck due to the
Vision.
2 eyes. Yep. So I see Matt having a very high potential, and I would love to see now Andy. I consider him a very established forward. I think me or Andy is a very realistic location for this player.
Right, and you got to think about it. Andy in the past has been a very defensive player and very good
Right.
on the defensive side of the ball. So that could kind of help Matt a little bit and help him grow into a position. It could kind of slow the game down for him a little bit, having Andy as such a good defender, and make it easier for him to get used to tracking the ball and used to positioning himself. So I could see that as a realistic pairing.
And still not a ton of pressure, if you will, because Matt doesn't need. Andy is now scoring consistently 2 or 3 goals a game.
Right.
He doesn't need to pitch shutouts if he would as if he had a lesser scoring forward.
Yeah.
So you're right, very realistic pairing. I think Matt definitely in the 3-4 range. You don't know, maybe he goes number 1 because I think Austin may have some. I don't know. We'd have to talk to Austin. I feel like Palma definitely has a chance of going number 1.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like him and Austin may have some good chemistry, but that's very subjective.
Yeah, well, we'll have to. I'm really excited to get Austin on here and talk him through some of these choices.
Oh, definitely. I think Austin has some very strong opinions from what I've known so far. But moving on to probably Palma's strongest competition is who we had on the show last Monday, my apologies, is Alec Fowler. Now, he also sent in a video, and we're going to roll that for you right now.
Hey guys, just want to thank you for watching this to start. So I believe that I should be the number 1 overall pick in the GKHA as a goalie. Reason being because of my physical attributes. I'm a big guy. I might not be bigger than certain people in the league, but I do think that I make up for that in my agility and quickness, and also my ability to go 100% all the time. Also, statistics don't lie. I have 100% in the win column. I have never lost a game. I allow a few goals a game, and about every other game, I tend to score randomly, and obviously, I think that I match up to everyone else in the GKHA. I think you should pick me number 1 overall. Thank you.
I'm personally a little. That was the first time I watched that, and that was something else. What the fuck? But I appreciate the effort, Alec. I really do. But the ambiance music in the background might have been a little much, just a little bit. All right, but getting past the production value of that video.
To be fair, he did ask for help, but I respectfully declined.
Definitely, he raises some good points about why he should be number 1. Obviously, being a goalie, he has just a positional advantage for being number 1. We talked extensively about Alec last time on the show, so we won't spend the most time on him. But the one thing he brought up is that I'm not as big as certain people, i.e. Palma, probably you. But I make up for it with quickness, and I cannot remember the other words. It might be quickness and agility, something like that. I think Alec is treading some dangerous tracks here because when you want to, stats don't lie. 100% win column, absolutely. That is a great thing to point to. But I don't know if he wants to go talking about quickness and agility, where two of the other goalies in the league, at least, are Mike and Tommy. I know they're not draft picks, but I'm saying I wouldn't focus on that aspect of his game. I would harp on his win percentage. I would harp on that he does score randomly and it's a big boost, and I would harp on he has playoff and a championship, which didn't even he neglected to mention. I believe that he did win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I just be careful about the way he described himself. Alec is primary foremost a big goalie, which is an advantage, and he can make saves. I don't think he's as ready to be that type of goalie yet. I mean, what do you think? Am I being overly critical?
No, I don't. I think that's accurate. I think I know where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, I'm not trying just to say, listen, I love Alec. I gave him a ton of praise on the show, and I said before, he absolutely deserves it. But when you go around, I just don't think that agility and quickness is the part of his game. I think it's the hustle, the determination, the big body, and I mean that's it. Like that is what I think of when I think of Alec. I don't think
Would you say that there's a certain level of arrogance when it comes to when it comes to him and his confidence?
I believe that we all have a sense of arrogance in this league. I think you'd be foolish not to. You need to have a little bravado. You need to exert yourself. You got to show what you are because, otherwise you're going to get steamrolled. Because everyone here is confident. Everyone here thinks that they deserve to be here. And most people do. So I don't fault him on that, but I
do you think he may have put a little bit of a bad taste in some of the captains' mouths with some of the things that have gone on recently?
I definitely think... Here's the thing. I think he offended the right people. I think the people who don't want to take him now are Mike and Tommy. Maybe Andy, but I don't think Austin sees it in a bad light. I know I don't see it in a very bad light. I would not be opposed to taking Alec. I will admit that. I don't know if Austin does or doesn't, but I would see him. If I was Austin, I would be able to look past it. That's my point. So I think he offended some of the goalies in the league, but those aren't the people who are looking to draft him.
Right. Those might be the right kind of people to offend because they are your competition.
Those are the people that don't matter as much to him.
Right.
I mean, if this was Mikey who came out with this, yeah, I'd be a little bit worried. But obviously, it's not. So I think, Alec's video, a little bit out there, a little bravado, showed a little bit of arrogance about it. But also, I don't think that it was too over the top where you are going to see people running away from him.
Right.
That's my take.
Okay. So you still projecting him number 1?
1 or 3.
All right.
1 or 3.
I could agree with that.
I really think it's a crapshoot between him and Palma. I think it's whatever. We're going to be able to get a better insight on Monday, but it's whatever Austin wants. I see Austin leaning towards Alec just because he has that championship, and they both share some of the longest win streaks. I just see that gravitational. But like I said, Palma is just a great kid to be around. I could definitely see Austin wanting to be around a teammate like Palma. I know I enjoyed it, so that's what I think. And you know what? And now we've done 2 goalies. Might as well go for the third. Matt Robideau, who's been around since the league's inception, season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, season 5, and I believe, season 6 too. No season 6, I apologize. So seasons 1 through 5, he missed season 6 and season 7, but he's looking to make a return season 8, which, I mean, what do you think? First of all, what do you think about that? I mean, Matt Robideau, been away for 2 seasons. He's been to 2 finals as my teammate, but I mean, he's notably recognized as I won't say one of the worst, but he's like the most average goalie you can get.
He is. I would agree with that. And of course, gotta give Matt, the credit where credit is due. He has the first shutout in league history. He loves. Boasting about that one. He loves that stat line. So we gotta give that to him. But honestly, you're right. He is. He is the most average player in the league, and 2 seasons off is a long time. So
especially for someone who's steady improvement. Like, sorry to cut you off. I mean, his biggest thing was he was always just kind of getting better.
Right, and then 2 seasons off, that kind of hurts him.
How far does he regress?
Right. Has he been putting in the practice hours?
So, without further ado, let's take a look at this video now.
All right.
Hello, loyal GKHA fans. This is Matt Robideau signing in. Now, why should I be the number 1 draft pick? Let's see. I lift the most. Gymshark Fitness. Ascetic Fitness. Come on, I am fitness. Look at me. I'm a fucking god in the gym. I lift the most in the gang. Number 2. I have the biggest body count. Quality. Simple math. Come on. I've led Chris Papa with a strong showing in net to a couple finals appearances. I've had the first shutout in GKHA history, so that's enough right there. And my Tinder game is probably the best out of the whole squad. Sorry, Collin, but number 1 draft pick.
Oh my God.
I'm speechless.
What the most average player in GKHA history? The
Oh my God.
dare I say douchiest player in GKHA
I don't think
history.
you have to dare to say that anymore. I think it's well fucking established at this point.
Is Matt gonna get drafted? That's the question here. It's not where is Matt gonna go in the draft. It's if Matt is gonna go in the draft.
Oh my God.
That video right there may have just cut all of his chances. Matt's been in the league since the beginning, and you know it's I don't know how the league's gonna take that. I'm a little bit offended personally, and I think there's some other people out there who are just gonna eat him alive for that.
I don't. The fact that listen. You want to say you lift the most, your body count, quantity, quality.
What does that have to do with the GKHA?
I don't know. The point, Matt failed stats in high school. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, to say that you led me to the finals in back-to-back seasons, to have the fucking audacity to say that shit, I don't know. I don't know what to say because my mind is just fucking racing. But. Oh, I'm actually mad. This makes me upset. I hope this was a joke. I really do. I hope he says it was a joke, and I can address that on Monday. But as of right now, Matt fucking Robideau, you little douchey fucking slimy no girl getting average cock-sized piece of shit. Don't you ever fucking talk about the GKHA, my career like that. I will fucking end you if you end the league next season. And I will fucking end him. I will literally throw you into him. I don't know what to say.
So it's safe to say you are not going to draft him for a 3rd season.
Unless this comes out as a big fucking joke. Even then, probably not. No, I don't see him getting drafted right now. I don't see that.
Okay, all right. Well, that's enough said on that one. Woo! That is a doozy of a video right there.
All right, let's move on to actually. It's not a video; it's a statement
from a player who's making his debut in the league.
Hopefully, Chris Horowitz, who has never played in the league but actually has played years of hockey previous at the youth and high school level. Yeah. So this quote actually surprised me. I got to look at it when he sent it over email. And Collin, I'm gonna let you react first on this after I read this because I think you'll be surprised too.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chris Horowitz, who is the first rookie to enter the league, I think, in the past 3 seasons, right? Something like that. I mean, we haven't had a new player enter the league in quite some time.
Fowler.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He got signed, but he never played. All right, well, shoot, that shot me in the foot. Fuck. Anyway, here's his fucking quote, I guess. Quote, I think I am a good candidate for either position, but specifically, I would prefer forward because I have the steam as a rookie, and I have the experience and knowledge of being a physical presence because I have played hockey and knee hockey my entire life. But as a goalie, I'm a big guy who makes agile saves as well. And also, I'm able to shoot from net. So basically, it comes down to what team is looking for from me, to what a team is looking for from me, and I can compete in either. End quote. Sorry, a little messy there. That quote was not the best grammatically, but Collin, what do you think about that?
I think that's very interesting. I didn't know if he was willing to play forward or not.
I did not think so. That's what got me.
Yeah, I thought he had a bad. I thought he had a bad shoulder and wasn't going to be able to play forward.
Yeah, exactly. I know it wasn't even that. I knew he had the bad shoulder, but even so, I mean, when you're naturally a big kid, I think goalie. I just think goalie now.
Well,
'Cause,
he
you
could
know,
just be kind of like you too. You never know.
right. But I mean, Chris. I mean, I'm also short. That is the.
Yeah.
I'm barely 5'10". I don't
Right.
even think I am 5'10". So you look at Chris. Chris is 6'1". I think he's
Mhm.
tall.
Mhm.
So to me, it seems almost a little weird. I mean, Austin's big too, I guess. So I
Right,
guess
and
I
I
just
would
think-
say that he probably could play as a forward because he has that experience in playing hockey. You know,
Yeah,
he's
so
played
he's-
hockey. He's got the shot. He probably have a pretty decent shot. I've not seen him play, but I could
Right.
imagine his shot being decent and
he is a
being able to adapt.
He played defense in high school, I believe. I hope that's correct. But I mean, even so, I mean, if that's true, I mean, he's gonna be a physical defensive forward.
He could be kind of like
also
Andy in
could
previous
score.
seasons. You know,
He could be literally a bigger version of Andy.
a bigger, slower version of Andy.
But you know what? Speed isn't exactly the most important thing because it's a very small area you need to cover. Do you know what I mean? Like, to
Right,
go
but when you're talking
on-
about Andy, I think speed plays a factor.
yeah, no, yes, definitely.
Andy's definitely the fastest player in the league.
But now a point that he raised, he said, "I have the steam as a rookie." I think that's a great point to raise. He doesn't talk about his inexperience, which obviously is going to play a part. There's going to be a learning curve with anyone who enters the league.
Mhm.
It's just going to happen. But the steam, he has so much to prove.
Yeah, he does.
Like, I mean, if I was entering the league, I'd be like, I got to show these people that I'm worth it. So I definitely see Chris as almost a dark horse. Like, whatever person
Yeah.
takes a chance on him, I think they're going to be more than happy with how he plays.
Right.
I mean, it obviously could go poorly, but I have a gut feeling saying it won't go poorly.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued to see where he goes in this draft.
Do you know what's the interesting thing to me is I actually can't pinpoint a location. I could realistically see him going number 1 because he could play both ways.
Right.
He could.
Him
If
and
Austin-
Austin can play both ways.
That's what I'm saying. So if Austin's like, I want to play forward, you go and goal. He's like, all right, I'm a rookie. I'll take my lumps, be goalie. Something doesn't go right. He says, hey, let's switch. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of variability. And so in being that, I mean, I could see him going to your team. I could see him going to my team. I could see him going to Andy's team. I could see him going to Mike's team. Tommy, like everyone to me, I think could use a switch player. Because you never know when you want to make that late time game switch. You don't know if, he let's say Mike takes him to play it forward and they're struggling, and then Mike says, hey, why don't I try forward, you try goalie, and then they win 4 in a row. Who knows?
Right. He's a wild card in this draft. I could see
Yeah,
him going
absolutely the
wherever.
most unpredictability. Him and Sal, to me, have the most unpredictability.
I agree. Yeah, no, I'm actually really interested to see what Austin has to say about some of these picks now.
I know. I really hope someone does take Chris. I don't know. Me personally, I nothing against the kid. I think he's a good player. I don't know if he's the type of player I am looking for specifically, but if other players, specifically goalies, go off the board early like I'm anticipating, definitely a viable option for someone like me or
Mhm.
even someone like I even see Tommy because Tommy can play 2 ways.
Yeah.
Now, so that's 5 players who definitely have prominence of going in this draft. Well, 4 because fuck Roboto. But now I'm gonna put the big board up again above, and Colin, I want you to come up. Who do you think are your top 3 players, disregarding position? If that's all the top 3 picks were by bilateral players, so they could go either way. Who do you see as the top 3 players in this draft?
Palma, Fowler, Horwitz.
Palma, Fowler, Horwitz. Now I agree with 2 of those. I put Mikey over Horowitz, so
That
Why-
was where I was kind of on the bubble there with Mikey or Horwitz.
well, why do you pick Horowitz?
I just think he's a dark horse and anything could happen with him. And Mikey, I'm still kind of skeptical because this season he's gotten to play with someone he's close with. This season he's gotten
Right.
to play with someone who he fits the dynamic of the player. I'm still a little bit shaky on what he's done in the past. You know, he's still kind of got that. I got to see if his mentality's all there when he's not playing alongside Tommy.
Right. You don't know. Mikey is, again, he's not he's predictably unpredictable.
Right.
You know he's gonna suck if he really isn't with someone he's good with, even though he still can be good in moments. Like, it's a
Right.
very weird concept, but you're right. Chris will play with anybody. He's got a lot to prove. But to me, I mean, like, the same thing as, like, I think everyone in the league knows, though, like, not to draft Mikey. Like, I know not to draft Mikey. I think Mike kind of knows not to draft Mikey. So I think Mikey is going to go to a team that does fit his play style.
Could
and fits
we
his
possibly
personality.
see the Chippewas reunite.
I mean, listen, Mikey, do I think he deserves to go number 6? No. But I feel like he's such a exclusive personality. Like, that's a very real possibility.
And
no
I
one
feel
wants to
like he's
he's a
he
gamble.
is
He's
a
still a
gamble. He is a gamble, and so is Horwitz. But the thing is, with Horwitz, we don't know. With Mikey, we kind of know. You know,
We kind of know that if I draft him, he's not going to play very hard.
Right. It's a wild card. You never know. That's been my concern when mulling over draft picks is would he fit me or would he not? You know.
You know what? I have thought about that. I think Mikey and you would be a good team as long as you won.
Mhm.
Winning fixes all problems, cures all diseases. If you and Mikey would win, I see him still playing hard. But the minute you guys drop a game,
Minute we go down by multiple goals.
But playing with you though, honestly, and you don't let up a lot of goals, so I feel like, when Mikey was with Darren, for example,
Mhm.
Darren was just not good. They were letting up a lot of goals. He felt defeated before he got into the game. With you, you always have a chance, and that's what you have with a lot of the players.
My thing here is
and
though
franchises.
with me, there's two types of players with me. The
Right.
type that thinks, oh, okay, he's not gonna let a lot of goals in. I can push for goals. And the other and I can get back and I can push for goals and I can do my game. I can be comfortable playing my game. And then there's the other type of player who says, he's got this on defense. He's a brick wall. And then we just get lit up. So
Right.
Mikey is someone who I see in that second category, potentially.
Right, just kind of staying back and waiting for shots to go his way.
Right, so I want him. I need to see a season of him playing with someone who is not Tommy and who he can gel with. You know, I want to see if this is the new Mikey or if this was just
A phase.
a one year thing.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're right. We don't know what can happen. It's very possible that Mikey ends up at the 6th pick with Tommy, even though he definitely is higher potential. And now with Eric leaving the draft pool,
That throws a wrench into things, you know?
Mikey is clearly the top 4 to take.
Yeah.
So this will be a very interesting upcoming season, I have to say. I think the draft plays a very pivotal role in this year more so than any other, because I really believe that if you draft well, that it's redundant. Like, if you draft well, you're going to do good. But at the same time, I feel like you actually need to really think. Like, it's not clear cut. Like, in season 4, like, everyone knew Mike was going to take Austin. Like, it was obvious.
Yes, it was.
But now, I mean, like, it really isn't that obvious who's going to take who. It really is.
It's a toss-up,
So
really,
if
and
you
I'm really excited for this draft.
And there's gambles. I mean, if you want to take Horowitz, it's an absolute gamble. It's an absolute. Like, if you want to take Vinny, it's an absolute gamble.
Yeah.
Can he show up? Can he show up?
Yeah. He was supposed to be my teammate last year.
Right.
Or
Was
this
able
year,
to
I
do
guess,
that.
because the season has not ended yet. And I ended up with Eric because of that. Eric and I made it to the playoffs. Could I have done better with Vinny? Could I have done worse with Vinny? He's another one who is just a toss-up. Is he reliable enough?
No, you're right. I mean, like, we don't know. I mean, now, due to a couple seasons of flaking, people are saying no. I still believe for the bottom goalies, the 5 and 6 pick, he will be a very viable option.
Right, and
But I
he
don't know
has
if they
still
wanna
been
risk- I just
rumored.
don't know if they want to risk it.
I don't know if they want to risk it either, but he has been rumored in saying, you know, I miss this, but he's
Yeah, well,
got to
he
be
came-
able to put the time in.
He has to be able to. You're right. He's got to make sure he can show up on the days we need him.
Right.
I have to conclude this by saying Mikey Papa was reached for comment and was promised a response to the show. He failed to produce.
Another
we're
reason why his draft status would be unknown, in my opinion.
Exactly. But so we apologize for some of you who are looking forward to the Mikey comments, but we do not have them today. And that concludes our episode of Snapshot, episode 6.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please feel free to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on this video. Comment down below. Let us know who you think is going to get drafted and where you think they're going to get drafted. Also, follow us on all of the social media links in the description, and they're right next to our pictures. So go ahead, give those a follow. Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter for live feeds from the finals and the draft coming up on Tuesday. Stay tuned for a special episode on Monday with Austin. This has been Snapshot, episode number 6.